So just a few days ago, I did a video where I was explaining some of the things that the city of Cape Town was implementing in order to regulate short-term rentals like Airbnb. However, this week, this article came out. This is the 16th of March, and it says government is eyeing tighter rules on Airbnb style rentals. And what this article is basically saying is that this is not only going to be applicable to Cape Town, it's going to be applicable across the country. So essentially, government is trying to formalize the whole Airbnb short-term rental market, or short-term rental market, which includes platforms like booking.com as well. And three of the most important things they are trying to achieve is, number one, if a property is being used for short-term rentals more than a certain amount of days in a year, then it will be seen as a commercial venture, which means that the property will then attract commercial or business rates versus residential rates, because essentially they're saying you're running a business over the property, so we need to rezone this property, which will obviously increase the amount of rates and taxes that will have to be paid on that property. So if it's the owner that's doing Airbnb, it means his rates and taxes will increase. And if he's renting out that property to a tenant who's then using the property for Airbnb, it still increases on his side, which means the rental that he's going to charge that particular host is obviously going to increase, because now his cost base has increased, right? Then the second thing they are trying to achieve is they want to implement or achieve national regulation and registration on the platforms, which means every listing will need to have a unique registration number, as well as the ID number of the hosts that are putting these properties onto these rental platforms like Airbnb, like booking.com. And that has two purposes, right? The one purpose is to monitor for income tax, right? Because they want to basically see and know who is generating an income so that they can come after you for income tax. And the second part is so that they can see that the properties that are being used actually do meet the zoning bylaws, that you are actually using the property accordingly. So they basically want to monitor, right? It's sort of a policing. So they want to police the actual platforms, and they want the platforms to ensure that these registrations take place. And then the third thing that they are trying to achieve is that these short-term properties being used for short-term rentals will almost be governed or require the same sort of rules and code of conduct like you would have in a B&B. So for example, they are looking at things like health and safety. You're going to need fire safety to be in place. You're going to need insurance to be in place, sanitation, etc., etc., so that you are basically operating that and meeting the requirements as if you are running a normal B&B. So a lot more tighter rules on the way, possibly for anyone that is using Airbnb for property investment purposes or booking.com. You need to be aware of this. It's obviously going to hit that bottom line, and you're going to need to start looking at those returns if they implement this, right? It's some interesting days ahead.